Hello everyone on our channel, the first one about cryptocurrencies. We're going to do something like this here. Welcome to a new series that we want to introduce, where every 2 days maybe we'll do a live analysis of the market using our tool. As I mentioned in the previous video, I strongly encourage you to follow our official X channel. There you'll find all the latest news, important updates and detailed information from the previous video. I honestly discussed how our entire trading zone works. That is everything I'm about to present to you in this video. You can do live yourself. Sorry about my voice. Unfortunately, it's still a bit hoarse, but time is pressing, so we have to keep recording this series. The live update with our tool will soon be taken over by someone else. We're currently working out the details here as well, but I'd like it to be set up so that every 2 days, a new update appears on our channel. A market overview like this, which we can do live with our tool, just as I mentioned in the previous video, where I discussed in more detail how it works, how it functions, and what our plan is for it. I'd like everything I'm doing here with you right now, everything I'll be showing you, together with you, you can do it live at home. Obviously, the market is so dynamic that even such updates, I don't know, once a day can become outdated in an hour or 4 hours. That's why it's good to have this tool at hand. All you need to do is go to our website, TradingZonePro.com. Create an account, register and purchase a subscription here if you want access to the TradingZonePro panel. Or simply get it as a bundle together with our other project, which is artist.com. Right now, to celebrate our debut on our channel on X, we have some great promotions. So with a discount coupon, you can get it 70 Polish zloty cheaper. As for the whole package, you can get it with a 170 Polish zloty discount. So I think the offer is quite attractive. We have a limited number of these coupons available, only 25. That's because maybe I'll make a more relaxed video about it later, so this one doesn't get too long. I'll explain to you why we have these limitations here. Alright, let's get started. As for the weekly market situation, well, it's a bloodbath. It looks really bad. Everything here is basically in the red. Now let's begin. Yesterday there were some slight rebounds, but I think even those hourly rebounds will be wiped out here. We'll see how this plays out in the near future, so let's move on. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. We have the available time frames in our zone. 5-minute, 15-minute, hourly, 4-hour, and daily. Let's set Bitcoin to the 1-hour chart. I click Analyze as I say. Everything I'm doing now is already available for you in the trading zone. So everything I'm showing in this video, you can do yourselves. You can work with this tool on your own. So what do we have here? We still have, as far as the automatic trend is concerned, we're still in a downtrend. If we're in a downtrend, it's a good idea to open a position here. After clicking on the channel, it's good to open a position at the upper part of this channel. So as you can see, we could have opened one here, here, and here. We'll see where this is heading in the near future. The market echo is already moving into neutral conditions here. Market echo. This is what we're analyzing. A historical market, how the chart behaved in situations when the same conditions occurred as we have now, meaning that we're analyzing an additional 11 indicators, apart from our advanced algorithm that analyzes the setup score. So, under the current market conditions we have right now, it's 12:43 in February. The indicators are slowly shifting into neutral. Furthermore, we still have a declining EMA and we're still below the 200 EMA, so we can assume that the trend is downward. The tracker shows a negative super trend, but it's starting to rise. The fear and greed index, if you scroll through these tiles and go down here, fear and greed. We're at 17, which means extreme fear. Look for opportunities with confirmation. According to the premise of our tool, our entire trading zone area, we turn off emotions. Of course, we're still coming off significant declines, so by default, we're waiting for a situation, maybe looking for an opportunity to take a long position, simply waiting for this period of declines, this downward trend to end. But that's exactly why we created these tools, to turn off emotions, so we wait calmly. We need high setup scores, that is, at least BIA. We need a change in the filter, the trend filter from short to long, and we need market echo to switch to long. And of course, if the indicators align, that will also be a very good signal that we are close to a market breakthrough. So in short, we need setup score AB, a change of the filter to long, and market echo should also switch to long. This will happen. I showed this in the previous video. I encourage you to watch it. There we have a more detailed explanation of how this tool works, what we want to do here, and the direction we will be heading. So for now, the prediction from our tool is calm. We wait for confirmation. For now, we are still in a downtrend, so we continue to look for a place to enter a starting position. The only thing we can do here is draw a click, FIBO. So if we were in such a downtrend as we are right now, here we also have the FIBO levels drawn. We might remove this channel here somewhere, just gently like that. Let's zoom in a bit, just slightly adjust the levels here. Obviously the channel is there, maybe I'll turn it off because it's a bit unclear. As for Fibo here, of course, you can see the levels, so 236 at 78,909, 382, Fibo at 78,630, and so on. It's all written here for you. Well, the channel is quite narrow, so we'll see how things play out here. As I said, we're waiting for confirmation. We don't force the candle. If a breakout happens somewhere here, then we look for a place to enter a position on the breakout. The suggestion from our tool at this moment remains the same. Unfortunately, the trend is still downward, so it's still short. We are not taking any long positions. Let's see how it looks on other time frames. We can analyze the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, our filter has already switched to neutral, and the market anchor is also neutral, so slowly, maybe we're getting quite close to a turning point. If we also take a look at the channel, well, we'll see, let's just wait. 15-minute, right? But on the 5-minute chart, we already have neutral. On the 15-minute, the status is wait, so we'll wait. On the 15-minute chart, unfortunately, the trend is still downward. Even if the market echo suggests a high probability of further declines on the 15-minute chart, we'll see. From my point of view, that's quite a possible scenario. We'll see how the fours come out. The fours are still in the set, still above 50%. We can express this in percentages a bit. Of course, it's not exactly accurate to use percentages, but just to make it more visual, let's put it that way. Unfortunately, the downward trend continues, and the market echo is slowly moving toward the neutral level. If we're in a downward trend for the fours, we look to take a short position as close to the upper channel as possible. And one more thing, analyze it. The downward trend continues, although now with only a slight restoring. It's as if the strength of these declines is slowly running out here. The market echo is at a neutral level, so things are slowing down. Everything points to the fact that this downward trend is probably slowly coming to an end here. Of course, we wait for confirmation, we don't act on emotions, and we don't try to catch falling knives. Let's calmly wait until all our indicators, as well as the trend filter and market echo, switch to long. Alright, now maybe let's quickly go over XRP. Sorry for the interruption, my phone rang. Okay, so we've covered Bitcoin. Let's see how things look when it comes to XRP. The hourly chart. As for XRP, we already have a neutral trend. The market echo is still at the short level with high probability. So what this means is that given the current market conditions, when we ran this analysis, there was a 36.7% chance the price would move up from this point, while 63.3% of the time the price moved down. If we look at the chart, we also have a channel here. Well, I would wait. I think we can still wait calmly. Like I said, even though this downward trend seems to be slowly weakening, it's still ongoing. We don't have confirmation yet. Our condition is this: a high setup score and a long trend. And also market echo on long, so let's just wait patiently. How does it look on the 15-minute chart? On the 50-minute chart, unfortunately, we still have a downward trend, a bearish market echo, so there's a high probability that from here we'll just head down, and we're more or less in the middle of the channel. Here we also have the percentage share of this channel, so it's 33% if we're taking a short position. As for a better spot, as you can see, actually on the 50-minute chart, we could have taken a short position here, meaning exactly at the top of this channel. So right now, we are not taking a short position. We are not taking a position in the middle of the channel. Let's also see how this 4 looks on XRP. The downtrend continues. Market echo is slowly turning neutral. Well, we'll see. We'll see how this develops. All right, let's check the daily chart. Is this downtrend already ending? Well, unfortunately, as for XRP, the downtrend still continues, although it's not as strong. So we can sum it up by saying that the strength of this downtrend is slowly coming to an end. Market echo is already turning neutral for us. We're still waiting until these indicators change, meaning the trend filter automatically switches to long and market echo also to long. This is our proprietary automatic tool here. You can turn it off if you have your own idea for it. You can manually set a long or short position, so you can do everything according to your own indicators here. But I suggest not playing against this tool. I've tested it several times really, and it's much safer to have this tool, so to speak, here behind the scenes. So just relax. Let's just wait calmly. Let's see how Ethereum looks. On the hourly charts, still short, still short. We'll see how it all ends up, more or less. The falls on Ethereum. Short echo of Link. It's slowly coming to an end. I think we're getting close to the target. That's purely and solely, analytically, purely and solely, without emotion when it comes to the indicators. I think these leftovers are slowly coming to an end. Let's also check Solana. On the fours. Still short, still short. Let's use Fibonacci for entry. This halfway point is at 107, 236 at 113. Unfortunately, the market doesn't look good, as you can see on this crypto bubble. We'll see, we're watching. Our recommendation at the moment is we are not opening lock positions. We don't have a strong breakout yet. We don't have any signals yet. Of course, everyone would like these declines to end and for an upward trend to begin. But unfortunately, our tool doesn't indicate it. Our trading zone doesn't suggest that we should be opening a short position right now. All right, that's a quick update. What do we want to do here? Right now, we're also working on something so that automatically, if you have a chart like the one we have drawn here, let's take this Bitcoin on the hourly chart. Let's analyze it. We'll also turn off these FIBO levels, of course. You have everything at your fingertips, whether it's the MA200, MA100, MA25, or MA10. You can turn them on as you like. Turn them off according to your own preferences. And we want to do something like this that will simply introduce it so that we're trying to write an algorithm that will automatically detect candlestick patterns. So just like here, we have candles, but these are more like the default ones. What we'd like now is for a panel to appear here, so that candlestick patterns are automatically detected and highlighted for you on these charts. The concept we have in mind is more or less like what you see in this screenshot. Of course, this is just a sample generated image, but that's how I'd like it to look. Basically, it would work so that the candlestick appears with a high probability, meaning with some confidence, whether it's a trap or a certainty. We're introducing something like this, and we'll be trying to detect candlestick information. So as I said, I'm also developing this tool for myself so that our own trades on the stock market can simply be better. So that's something I'd like to have here, that we're doing this, that we're analyzing candlestick information. So that's always a few more % in our favor in this tough market. And now, maybe let's quickly take a look at how our post, the one we published, is doing, how our tool performed live here. Because as I said, the whole essence of this is that we want to build it together with you and for you. So yes, if anyone is interested in having something like this at hand, I encourage you. It's practically 70 PLN per month and you get live access. We've introduced these limitations. For 25 coupons, we're simply not sure how the servers will handle it. It's not about our servers here, but rather that a lot of the data we fetch, unfortunately, comes from exchanges and various types of APIs. Let's put it that way, very generally. And unfortunately, there are limitations there, so we're considering how to get around them. We have some updates here, and we have some options, so to speak, for manipulating this data. Of course, the ultimate solution would be to download the entire exchange onto our servers and work with that data. But unfortunately, at this moment, that's not feasible. Maybe in the future, we'll move in that direction. As I also mentioned, we are a company. We're a small up-and-coming company. In practice, the tool debuted 2 or 3 years ago, so the only way to fund and develop this tool is through the subscription model, so we would be very grateful for every subscription purchased. And simply, you'll be with us from the very beginning. We'll see what comes of it. We want to create something that simply hasn't existed on the market yet. What will come out of it, we'll see. All right, so maybe just one more thing. Quickly, what was the situation? The situation was, when I posted that, it was 3 o'clock, so let's say February 2nd, 3 a.m. Also, one of the very important modules of our tool here is what I would call a very serious one. I'm missing the word. Educational value, let's say educational value, so we can set it to any period within the limit. 5 candles, so obviously, for daily it's 500 days, for hourly it's 500 hours, and so on. So now let's try to analyze the situation, meaning February 3 o'clock, which is 1500. And we can also do the analysis on the hourly interval now. And then you'll see how these indicators relate to the topic. If something happened, an extreme change, a little notification popped up like this. At the moment, we have a flip pet poly, which suggests that there might just be a small rebound here. However, still here. Here we also have a panel for such an assumption, which is what we suggest, that is entry, stop loss, take profit with a default balance of $1,000, so it's easy to calculate. Of course, we can enter how much we want to risk. When we evaluate and analyze the risks associated with capital, then these specific values are important. Should also change for us here. By default, it's set to 1%, so we'll still be working on this for now. We're trying to provide an educational value here, rather than, so to speak, just some kind of calculator. We'll see how it turns out. The entries and stop losses are quite nicely placed at some important levels on the chart, meaning at the last flip or something like that, so it already has some practical value here, although we'll still be developing it further. Once we're sure that these settings are 100% the way we want them, which to be honest we haven't quite achieved yet, and since of course I'm a trader myself, I also, so to speak, trade on the market, so if these values, from my point of view, it's really useful when we simply put more emphasis on it. We're going to focus on that for a moment. We just want you to turn off your emotions and rely purely on statistics. Alright, so now we're moving on to this date, which is the info stage analysis. February 2nd, 2026, 3 o'clock p.m. The trend was still down on the hourly chart. Short. Ekorinku is also indicating short, and we can do something like this. We redraw the chart to reflect the current market situation. And you can analyze for yourselves how these tools performed here, obviously here. At this moment, we could say it was a sideways trend. We suggested a short, but it's hard to pinpoint exactly here, and that's not really the point. Maybe let me put it differently. At this moment, there still hasn't been a breakout, or rather, a proper breakout. This is just an example, so here I'll show you why. Even when the trend indicates short, you shouldn't always open a short position. To open either a long or a short position, we need 3 indicators. First of all, the setup score must be A and B, meaning it has to be high. In that situation, we had 24. This could be interpreted as the downward trend we're currently in is slowly losing strength. If that were the case, then that would be the setup score. AB, meaning, I don't know, above 75, then we would have a short and an anchor short. In that case, we could consider a short position. At this moment, there are no indications to open either a short or a long position. We simply wait. Of course, if we were to analyze this again, looking back, everyone would point out here that it's possible this was a rebound. All in all, it's quite a logical situation. Here we have a dog that more or less settled down over these 4 hours. This is the hourly chart. But since you have our tool, where I show you Setu scored 53, trend short, Ekorinku short, so you don't have any historical or analytical value here that would support opening a long position. As for a short position, we would need a bit more. Let's see how it behaved. It's possible that this is the formation of a top. How should we draw it in? The chart. A bit of a top forming, and it's quite possible that from this point we'll go short, so in that case, of course, this trade made sense, right? Alright, so let's also check the 15-minute chart to see how it looked there. I think we skipped the hourly, 4-hour and daily charts there. So we've done the hourly, the 4-hour, and the analysis back to the date of this post, which is February 2nd. As for the 4-hour chart, we still have a short trend there. Roughly speaking, in terms of the strength of this trend, it's about 50-50. The market echo shows neutral here, so we don't take a short position, and even more so, we don't take a long position yet. We simply wait. Let's redraw the chart. Basically, they'll be similar, only the time frames will change, so how about this chart? If we redraw it, you could say we're at the same point where we analyzed it here before. And finally, the last one-day stretch analysis. Here we can already assess that the strength of this downward trend is dropping quite significantly. At the moment, we have 24 points, which means status D. The market echo is gently shifting to neutral. If we redraw the chart to reflect the current market situation, this is just one candlestick, so we need to zoom in, and this is how it looks. Well, it looks like the strength of this downward trend is coming to an end. It's weakening, but we still don't have any confirmation to take a long position. And that's the main essence, so as not to drag out this video, the main essence of using this tool is that it simply gives you statistical confidence. You add your own skills, you add your own experience. Everyone has some knowledge when it comes to this market. We simply turn off your emotions, meaning you might say, okay, now there has to be a breakout. This is a good spot. It's already dropped, I don't know, over 20%, so I'm opening a long position. But actually, no, wait. The time to open a long position will come. The time will come when you'll have AB status here. The time will come when you'll have a long trend filter here. And the time will come when you'll have a market echo long. For now, just wait. Don't waste your money. All right, so in short, that's more or less how I see these market updates. Remember, everything I'm doing here for you now, you can have for yourself as well. It's all available live anytime just by subscribing to our Trading Zone. We have a lot of ideas on how we're going to keep improving it. So for now, that's it. Thank you for watching. And remember, the market without emotions. Trading Zone, this is the market without emotions. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.